All right, it looks like we are live today. Welcome, everybody. Happy Thursday. It is July 10th. Today, it's just me. We're solo, just me. No Matt Monaco today. He'll be here with you tomorrow. We're both busy. Kind of worked out well, actually. I'm busy tomorrow morning. He's busy this morning. So, worked out that way. But I want to welcome you guys here. As always, trading with TradeFunder today. For those of you guys who don't know, we'll talk more about that in a little bit. First, we're going to go through my watch list, just kind of the stocks that I'm looking at today. Now, as you might have been getting used to at this point, every morning, me or Matt seem to have a pre-market screw up. I call it the pre-market botch. I botched something big in pre-market. Today, that botch was BTCM. I was long this at, drumroll please, $4.75. I sold this stock in the same minute at $4.80. It then ran to $11 a share without ever downticking. Now, to be fair, I did make some back on the short side. I got short here around $10, covered in this first flush here at 880. Got short again then at 880, covered at 820, and it's faded pretty well since then. So I'm not, am I mad? Yes. I think this could have been a phenomenal trade. However, you know what? Sometimes it's the way the cookie crumbles, and you know what they say, you can't be a winning trader without screwing up once in pre-market. I don't think that's what they say, but we're going to go over my watches here today. As a matter of fact, I really like the one that's on your screen right now. Wrong one. Sorry. SAFX. SAFX. I like this one a lot for a potential squeezer. It's got SSR on, which just makes it a little tougher for short sellers to slam the bid. And that can lead to some good squeezes. And it's actually a lower float than it shows. It's showing like 150 million share float, but filings show that's closer to like 15 million. So they do have a lot of shares outstanding, and it is technically a larger market cap because of that. But the actual publicly traded float is a bit smaller. I think shorts are pretty trapped in this thing. The news wasn't anything too spectacular. So I think that in and of itself might have trapped some shorts early on here. It kept trying to squeeze up, dump, squeeze up. We'd get like two fake breakouts, dump, dump. Now we're just kind of holding up here. And so I'm curious to see if this thing can be a dip and rip this morning, especially now that we're starting to form a nice little pre-market trend here. Curious to see what happens when we really truly break out of this trend. I do like this trend a lot. It's looks like it's a downtrending. I call this it's called a descending wedge. But again, the thing is really strong, and we've trapped so many shorts now. I think this thing's got some juice to it, but we'll see here, especially out of the gates. VIOT, I like this for a first green day. VIOT for a first green day. This ran from roughly $1.40 a share up to $3.55 a share. It then fell from $3.55 down to $2.20. Today, it's gapping up slightly. So curious to see if we can get a nice first green day, just probably up to like $3. Not looking for anything crazy on it. And then CGTX, decent little breakout chart here on the daily. Little breakout chart here through 63 cents. And I mean, we've already broken out of that pre-market. So curious to see if that can keep running. We probably get some kind of backside pop on BTCM, but I'm not really that interested in it, if I'm being completely honest with you. Let's see here. Also, one to keep an eye on, but I don't really have a full plan for, is EGG, EGG. I was in this yesterday, and I bought here at, I believe, $9 a share is where I got filled, and I sold up here into the 11 pop, which was nice. But now, after that halt, it just unhalted to the downside, got really funky. And on the short side, looking at PROK, potential short here on PROK, maybe a first red day of sorts. Also, what was it called? What in the world is it called? SUGP, SUGP. Keeping an eye on SUGP, sugar. for a short here. I think longs have kind of gotten trained the last couple of days to like buy these day 2 moves. And I think finally we're just going to get to a spot where that doesn't work quite as well as it did. And we're already kind of seeing that here. So keeping an eye on that. Keep an eye on SAFX. Yeah, my main watch for the day, though, or my main 2 watches for the day are SAFX and VIOT first green day. Those will be where I place the majority of my focus. Besides that, though, that's about all I've got for today. I know I'm showing a bunch of stocks here, but really my main focus, I'm not going to focus that hard on CGTX. I just want to keep an eye on it. I don't love breakouts that happen pre-market and then they don't continue to break out. I just haven't found that much success trading them. PROK, as much as I would love to see a first red day on this, I just don't know if it's really got the juice for it quite yet. Maybe they drop an offering or something, but yeah, I'm not uber confident in that. SAFX, VIOT, I like both of these a lot, though. These are going to be my top 2 watches for the day. They're the level 2s that I currently have up on my screen. Let's see here. Checking the chat now. What's up, Ian? What's up, Tactical Trading? Yeah, Lone Ranger today. Indeed. I'm not even in Texas. How does CGTX look? We just went over that. ARI, any chance coming back? Maybe. I don't know. Not really. It's not a trade for me, is all I'll say. Not to say that it can't, just to say that I'm not going to bet on that. Let's see here. Got in BTC. I'm in that first green over red candle, 7:39 after 6 a.m. Sold in the break at 10. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's a great trade. Where are you streaming from today? That's a good question. I don't really know. Somewhere out in western Wyoming. It's hot where I am right now, though. We're out actually kind of more in the desert right now, which is pretty cool. The deserts of Wyoming. On our way, going to go through Yellowstone this weekend and try to make it into Idaho. That's the current plan. Oh, let's see here. What other questions we got? Is there any edge in swinging what looks like a third day surge from the second day if it looks to be setting up? I like the confirmation more, personally. Maybe there's some edge, but when they don't work, they can just gap down so big. So, personally, not for me. What are your thoughts on MP? Too big of a stock. Morning, Maggie. Morning, Angelo. I don't know where that came from. Yeah. Sandra said, morning, Bryce. We're the golf pro this morning. He is, if you're talking about Matt Monaco, he's got a meeting today right near market open. So I don't think he's going to be trading, which is no worries. We'll miss him. We've got about 5 minutes left before market opens. So welcome, everybody. And as we normally are, letting you know today, we're trading with TradeFunder. We'll talk more about TradeFunder a little bit later here, but it's why we're doing these webinars, because TradeFunder wants us to trade with you guys and be able to do this every morning. TradeFunder is a prop firm. Whoops, wrong link. That's the YouTube link. TradeFunder is just a prop firm that we trade with. It's a fully funded trading account, which is pretty cool. One of the first of its kind here in the US, which is phenomenal. I don't even know how I switch it. I'm not the best at this. Bring it over here. Here we are. Just for those of you guys who haven't seen these webinars yet, again, I'm trading with TradeFunder. Matt normally trades with TradeFunder as well these mornings. And we have a really great deal for you guys. You get a $25,000 funded account with $100,000 of buying power. And if you sign up with our link, you get about a 40% discount. It normally costs about $1,400. When I say cost, it's like a down payment into that trading account. But on these webinars, you'll be getting access to that 25K account for $8.99, which again, that just goes right into the account. And then you've got basically a few $1,000s worth of drawdown that you're allowed to go through. So actually it's pretty sweet, right? You put in about $900, $8.99, and you get up to $3,750 worth of a drawdown to go through. TradeFunder, they want you to win. They also want you to practice good risk management, which is why you're not allowed to lose more than $1,000 a day. But again, we'll talk more about TradeFunder and everything later on here. For now, we're just going to be focused on hitting these trades right out of market open. So let me go ahead, switch my screen back here, and we will be back to it. Did I share my trade plan for SAFX and VIOT? I haven't shared my full trading plan for them yet, mainly because I want to see how the market opens here. Yeah, I want to see what we get out of market open. SAFX, primarily looking for a dip and rip on this. VIOT, VIOT, I'll probably just buy through like 273, 274 with small size. And then if we start setting up for like a real high a day break, we get a dip off of that, and then we set up for a real high a day break, I'll look to add to that position. And then I'll risk whatever that low a day ends up being. Yeah, that's kind of my current plan for this right now. Like I said, we got about 2 minutes before the market opens here. SAFX, unfortunately, not looking phenomenal right now. Just a little bit of a tough, where are we? A little bit of a tough failed breakout to that trend line. We'll see. Again, going to keep my eyes on it. I'm also not loving VIOT dipping a little bit. Oh, not showing as much here. A little bit of dip on that level 2, though. Oh, I'm looking at VOR on my other screen. That's why. It's like, that dip looks a lot bigger on my other monitor. It's because it's VOR. Sorry. Okay. That's also what I was getting wrong. 260. I would look to buy that high day breakout there. $2.60, or I'm looking to buy that high day breakout. Yeah, VOR is definitely a pass. VOR is definitely a pass in my opinion. So I'm going to get these order boxes ready. We're about 20 seconds away from market open. Proc is not that far from going red. And here we are. Good morning. Market's officially open. MFI. I just got a price alert for MFI. What is MFI doing? Oh, it did a reverse split. That'll do it. Proc just dumping out of the gates there. All right, VIOT, I got some there at $2.60 a share. We'll look to see if we can sell into a spike. Like I said, not looking for anything too crazy on that. SAFX dipping out of the gates here. That dip and rip level is now $3.60, which is nice because it kind of lines up with that trend that we're looking for there. 320 VWAP here. See if we can hold. Suge P trying to bounce here out of the gates. SAFX, that's a pretty hard dip. That is a pretty hard dip there. We'll see if it can recover, but I don't love that. Oof, really hard dip. Down to $3. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, that's not what we want to see. Take a look at some other movers here. See how BTCM's doing. Nice pop out of the gates there. I don't personally love that down here. PROK, potential short. Oh my gosh, SAFX just draining. Down almost $1 a share. That's a bummer. GNS, I just got flagged on this one. Do we have a breakout coming up here? Oh, that did break out. Wow. 155 is our breakout level. That's something to keep an eye on here. I think shorts got really trapped on this. All right, I'll be keeping an eye here. GNS, I think, is a really nice contender now. Yeah, GNS looking good. Right now, a top contender, at least for me. Excuse me. I'd consider just starting in over this 161 high. Not crazy size or anything, but a decent starter. VIOT just kind of staying sideways here from entry. Nothing really to run home about yet. Eggs, some perk. Yeah, a little perk there. It's a day two. These day twos, I do struggle to get a lot of conviction in them. Proc, I'll tell you, PROK, that might be our first red day trade today that really shows some juice here, especially if we can get under yesterday's close, which was around $3.40. Oh, GNS. Keep a close eye on that level 2 here. If we start breaking through, I'll look to take my order. All right, I took my starter in GNS there at $1.62. see what we can get here. I did. Come on. Oh, I didn't get fully filled. I only got about half filled. It's okay. Maybe we can get more on a dip. I'm just going to risk on GNS here. I'll just be risking low a day today. Risk is pretty tight. It's like 155. All right. And I just cut my VIOT, that dump. It is what it is. Not really what I was hoping for there. It's, to be fair, it is still green on the day. Like, this can work. I'll still keep an eye on it, but for now, that's just not really not what I'm looking for. GNS, though, fortunately, we do have this one starting to push. Come on. I don't think it'd be unrealistic to see like 180s to there. Oh, yes, 168. Let's go. Can we get 170? Come on. Give me a fill here. Give me a fill. GNS, nice spike. Boom. Locked in some right there at 169. A little more there at 170. Looking to see if we can't get like 175 to 180 for some more. I've still got more than half my position left. Beautiful spike. Beautiful spike. We love breakouts. We love breakouts. They're amazing. Oops. Come on. GNS, give me that 173. I got a little more. Go. Yes. I love when trades work. Got off more at 173. VIOT, of course, coming back around. Whatever. What are you going to do? I'm going to try to hold so I've got about 2/5 of my position left. I'm going to try to hold that for 180 plus. Oh, please share GNS on screen. Sorry, guys. I thought I was. Sorry, I'm on like two different screens right now. There we go. So my entry was right here at $1.62 through that $1.61 breakout. Looking to see if we can get more through 180 or through 180 here. You only took a 10-cent win on a daily breakout? Yes. Risk reward. I'm just scalping these. I love scalping. I made most of my money as a scalper. So I'm going to continue scalping. That's what works well for me. You got to think too, right? Like, yes, it's a daily chart breakout, but yesterday this was at $1. It's up 75% in 2 days. Like, this is a nice move. I'm not going to sit here and get overly greedy. Beautiful. Oh, yeah. David took EGG starter at 894, now at 946. Beautiful trade. Wow, halted up too. Oh, there's 180. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, give me a sell. Give me a sell. Come on. Come on. Locked in more at 180. If I can get some off at like 185 and then 190, I will be a very happy camper. So kind of going back, no, that's a good question that I just got, right? Like, you're taking, Bryce, why are you taking there we go. Why are you taking like a 10-cent win on a daily chart breakout? So let's actually go over this GNS trade. Am I getting more? Got out more there at 185. Got my last order for 190. Come on. Got my order here. Can we fill? Can we fill? Oh, I didn't fill yet. That's okay. I kind of want to go over this quick, right? Because this is a really good question. Why am I going for 10 cent? I think my average sell here. Let's see if I can find my average sell, but do we get it? 190, 190. Come on. Okay, so I averaged roughly 12-cent sell. So I bought it at 162. What's that like? Like 174, 175, where I was scaling out into. Why am I doing that? Well, largely because, right, I'm only risking about 5 cents a share. So I'm looking at this more from a risk to reward standpoint. I'm all out of the trade, by the way. I sold my last bit there at $1.90. I look at this more from a risk to reward standpoint, right? So when I was first entering this trade at $1.62, we had a really clear, in my opinion, really clear kind of support level here on that 157. If we started breaking that 157, I'm just getting out of the trade. So I'm risking about 5 cents a share there. Even though it's a daily chart breakout, that's great. But now what that allows me to do is have conviction to take bigger size, right? So even though I'm not going for like a 50 cent a share win, if I'm able to take 10, 20, 30,000 shares instead, because I'm more convicted in this trade working out and I have small risk, well, now all of a sudden, if I'm risking 5 cents on, say, 10,000 shares, I'm only risking $500, right? If you take 5,000 shares, you're only risking $250, right? So, and this is what's really cool. I know some of you guys are like, well, that's peanuts. I can risk more. And then some of you guys are like, well, I can't risk that much. Yeah, you can. Again, that's really the cool part about TradeFunder, guys, right? And just while we're here really quick, after that sweet win, let me explain exactly what I'm talking. Oh, what a dump too. Let me explain exactly what I'm talking about, right? So for those of you guys that have small accounts, for those of you guys that are sitting here right now being like, well, I wish I had that much money to risk, you can. This is the whole point of TradeFunder. Again, this is why we're here today. As we're trading with TradeFunder, it's a prop firm. It's going to be a fully funded trading account, $25,000. And as you grow your trading profits, as you grow and improve your consistency, there's opportunities to have a larger position, larger trading account. There's actually traders at TradeFunder that are trading with multi-million-dollar portfolios. But right out of the gates, you'll get started with $25,000 of account size, $100,000 of buying power, and VIOT is working now, right? But most importantly, for those of you guys that are like, well, I've only got $1,000 or $2,000 to trade with, I can't risk that much money. You can. Actually, with TradeFunder, you're going to be signing up today for an $8.99 one-time, basically deposit, one-time fee. That's just going to go into your trading account like a down payment to a house. And then for the rest of that, that's going to be your money. You get to lose up to $3,750. That's going to be your max drawdown. Now, to be fair, there is a daily loss limit of $1,000. So if you go over $1,000 of losses in a day, they're going to shut your account off for the day, right? But then you still have another $2,750 to lose. Now, this is what I'm talking about, though. If we go back to something like GNS, right, where I'm entering here at $1.62 a share, risking $1.57, not that I'd want to see you risk your entire daily loss limit on one trade. I think that's kind of silly. But just for all intents and purposes here, let's go back to that chart really quick, right? Because this is where things can get really crazy. So let's say right now you've only got like $1,000 to trade with. Well, if you only have $1,000 in your personal account right now, what a dump. Oh my gosh. See, and this is what, oh my gosh, do they do an offering or something? I'm not seeing any news. Insane. Right? This is why I wouldn't want you risking your entire account on one trade either. But as I was saying, right, this $1.62 level, right, and you're risking around $1.57. Let's just say that's roughly what you're looking to do there. 5 cents worth of risk. You have $1,000 account. Well, that means in best case scenario, right, in a best case scenario, Man, I'm not good at math. 5 cents a share. Oh, that's how I do it. So you got $1,000 account, you can buy around 600 shares, which isn't bad. That means, though, that you're only going to be able to risk like $30 max. And that trade, if you're buying 600 shares right here, if you lose $30. The loss is small, but if you win, right, if you did what I just did there, making like 12 cents, 13 cents a share, that means you made like $50, $55. However, if you take that same $1,000 and fund it into TradeFunder with your own kind of prop account there, then you could have taken a 10,000 share position, risking $500 and locking in $1,200 or $1,300 win. So this is like that real advantage for traders who do have smaller accounts, is that you're able to take trades like these with much larger size and still have to trade within these risk parameters. I don't do public math. Yeah, I'm not good at math in general. I failed stats twice. I actually dropped out of college, which like people think you have to be good at math to be a trader. BS. I can do all right with zeros. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm going to go over some questions here. See a lot of questions here. What's the difference between BMNR and GNS? All right. Yeah, that's a fair question. VIOT, that's annoying. They shook me out there. Shaken out. Can you believe it? Let's go over BMNR here. Okay, so BMNR is a breakdown trade. This trade already broke out, right? This trade went from $4 to $160. Then we got this breakdown yesterday. GNS, on the other hand, is a breakout trade, right? We went up, we dipped down, and now we had this clear breakout level at 155. And again, like I was saying, this is why I didn't want to hold it too long. The stock's already up nearly 100% in 2 days. Not to say that's anything crazy, but on the biggest day of its run, its biggest run day, it went from 70 cents to $1.30. Like, it's just not, it's not known for making massive one-day moves, right? Same thing here. It went from 50 cents to 70 cents in 1 day. I don't want to overextend or overstay my welcome. Whereas like BMNR, different story, right? This stock went from 15 up to 35 on day one of its run. Day two of its run, it goes from 46 up to 74. So like it has 100% range worth of 100% range worth of range per day. There we go. Can't speak either. Can't do math and can't speak. Please feel bad for me. So like that's different. That's a stock that like you can expect to have massive moves. GNS, you take the meat of the move, but in the other side of it here, you also get phenomenal risk to reward, right? It's not very often that you can buy a stock. And again, this would be in best case scenario. Most traders don't trade best case. I certainly don't, right? But buying it like 162 with a risk on 157. Again, for me, that's kind of the lower end of that range there. It was pre-market resistance turned to support. Even if you were to risk 155, even if you were to risk 7 cents to share, that full 7 cents, the thing went up 30 cents a share, right? So on a 5 cent risk, that's best case scenario. That's like a 6-to-1 risk to reward. And so when you can get a best case 6-to-1, it makes it a lot easier to trade like middle of the range 2 or 3-to-1, which is basically what I did there on that trade. TradeFunder doesn't count scalps. I don't know what you mean. Doesn't count scalps. Like, you can trade however you want with TradeFunder. You can long, you can short. The only thing you cannot do is swing trade. You cannot take overnight positions with TradeFunder, which I think is fair. It mitigates the risks, especially for the stocks, the types of stocks that we trade. So it is only a day trading account. You can take as many trades as you want, though, as long as you stay over that $1,000 daily max loss and that overall $3,750 max drawdown from where you went there. When you buy, do you buy on the bid or the ask, and what is the reasoning behind it? Yeah, so in the case of GNS, I just slammed the ask with my starter size, and then with my I filled at 162 in both cases, but I clicked the button twice for whatever reason instead of just buying my full position size. So technically I bought part of it on the ask, and then I sat on the bid at 162 for the rest of it, and then eventually filled. Normally I'll just market order, and because if I'm in a trade now, I don't really like encourage newer traders to just blindly market order things. I sit on the level 2 like a hawk. I'm like watching the level 2, waiting for breaks, so I'm ready to click market at the exact time that I'm ready to buy. It really just depends on like the way that you trade. If you're a scalper, you don't really want to be sitting on the bid because you just want to get into the trade. If you're more of a trend trader, you might want to sit on the bid for a better average because you're not quite as worried. Yep, Christy, it's $99 a month. What happens if you lose that entire account, but you've only put in the $900? That's a good question. So DP saying, what if you lose the entire account, but you've only put in the $900? First of all, your maximum risk is your one-time payment, the $899. That is your maximum risk. Second of all, you cannot lose the entire $25,000. They will shut off your account after you have lost $3,750 from where you started, right? So let me actually make very clear here. Give me just a second. Let's walk back over here. We're done looking at GNS for now, I think. Here we go. Okay. So let's clarify this because you can only lose the money that you've put in. So in this case, that'd be that $899. But again, to be clear, they will shut off your account after you draw down $3,750. And to be double clear, that $3,750, can I draw on here? That'd be sweet. I don't think I can though. Bummer. I'm sure there's a way to do it somewhere. The $3,750 is from that $25,000 that you start with, meaning, right? Suppose that you start off with $25,000, you make $3,000. Now you can draw down $6,750. So it just keeps adding to it. Yeah. Can you trade more than one stock at a time in TradeFunder? Yes. The only stipulation is that you cannot put more than 4 times your margin into one or more. Basically, you are limited to $25,000. So if you start with TradeFunder today, you get your $25,000 account. While you will have $100,000 worth of buying power, you can't put that all into one stock. So your largest position that you are allowed to take in one trade is going to start off at $25,000, but you can do that 4 times in 4 different stocks. Oh, I can't speak to like 10 or 15 second scalps. My scalps are like 3 or 4 minutes, right? I'm not that, we'd call that hyper scalping, like a 10 to a 15 second trade. I don't do that. I can't speak to it. What platform am I using here? Yeah, so the platform that I am sharing my screen with here that we've been looking at with like GNS this is stocks to trade. So stocks to trade, the reason that we're able to get you a discount on TradeFunder, by the way, which is pretty sweet. Again, normally it's $1,400. I'm able to get you a code or that link there for, I should actually drop that link in the chat, by the way. There we go. That TradeFunder account right there is because Stocks to Trade actually partnered with TradeFunder. If you build the account up, that's a good question. If you build the account up to $30,000, how much do you keep? Yeah, that's a good question too. So with TradeFunder, there's an 80-20 profit split. So if you make $5,000, you'll get to keep $4,000 of it. TradeFunder takes the other 20%. which I think is very fair considering you've only got to put up $8.99 for a $25,000 account, right? So if you make $10,000, you get to keep $8,000 and you get to keep growing from there. The main reason that I like TradeFunder is it de-leverages your risk. Just meaning like, again, I think Matt puts this perfectly, right? It's like, let's say you have $5,000 to trade with. Let's say you have $5,000, right? And by the way, I post that link on the screen there for those of you guys. This is your homework right now. This is how you're going to be able to take bigger trades if you don't have a ton of money. But like, let's say you got $5,000, right? And again, you want to put that in a stock like GNS or whatever stock you want to trade, right? You just want to put it into a trade. But then all of a sudden you blow up your account. You're down $5,000. You got to make your money back. Or you could put $8.99 into TradeFunder 5 different times and have 5 different chances to trade $25,000 accounts to do it. Do you trade through STT or the TradeFunder platform? Yep. So I chart on stocks to trade. So I look at the stocks that I'm trading on stocks to trade, but I take the trades through TradeFunder. TradeFunder is the prop firm, so that's where I place the trades through. But then again, because Stocks to Trade and TradeFunder have partnered, I've used Stocks to Trade for years. So this is where I actually look at my stocks that I'm trading on. Are you using Starlink? Yeah, I'm using Starlink. Yep, that's how I'm trading. I'm literally out here in the middle of nowhere right now. The town that I'm staying in has a population of 214 people. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, for those of you guys that don't know, another really fun thing that I do is I trade kind of all over the country. I built what I call the mobile trading station. It's basically a 24-foot box truck that I built out into like half RV, half mobile office. Just drive all over the country, trade from the coolest places, the mountains, the deserts, all that fun stuff. Yeah, it definitely sounds like Wyoming. Indeed it is. I'm like 2 hours away from the next closest town. What is Starlink? It's satellite internet. That's how I trade out here. Let's see here. What do you use to trade? Thinkorswim? Nope. I use TradeFunder to trade. To look at the charts, I use stocks to trade. Debbie, yes. To clarify what we were just talking about there, are you watching on Stocks to Trade View and then you buy or sell on TradeFunder? Exactly. I view the charts that I'm looking at on Stocks to Trade. I sell and buy via TradeFunder. Will there be broker integration? I know it's something that's been talked about. I don't know for sure. I think it'd be a really cool thing, though. What's the minimum payout of $250 mean? So if I make 200, do I lose the 200? No. The minimum payout means that it's like, let's say you make $100 today. That means you need to make another $150 before you are allowed to request a payout, right? So let's say that let's say you make $500, but you only want to withdraw $100. TradeFunder is saying, no, you have to pay out. You have to draw out a minimum of $250, which I would imagine is because they got to like send you the money. And it probably costs them. They're doing that with a bunch of people. They have people like send it. Okay, I want $50. It probably costs them too much money. So I think that's fair. Again, like with TradeFunder today, I made like $600, $570 on GNS there. Small size. I only had 5,000 shares. I put it in order for 10,000 and didn't get the full fill. So it might depend. Danielle said, someone mentioned no pre-market trading with TradeFunder. You can place trades from 4 a.m. to 4 p.m. I placed one at 4:10 a.m. yesterday. I personally don't trade pre-market on TradeFunder, but we'll see. So you can only day trade. Yes, that is correct. You can only day trade. We're going to go over to ABVE quick and take a look at this. What do we got here? Woo! Big spike out of nowhere. Yeah, I think I'm going to just take my cheddar for the day and walk away with a nice win. That's kind of my plan here. Sweet. Yeah. Mike said I'll be signing up this weekend. Phenomenal. Got Shug P trying to bounce back a little bit here. VAOT, decent bounce there. SAFX, what a garbage stock. BTCM. A lot of the small caps are tanking today. This is why I like focusing on strong daily charts like GNS, which, again, to be completely fair, did have a massive dump. But we had a really good trade here on GNS. 162 up into the 190s. Again, I was selling I should be very clear, right? I had sold a lot of my position in like the 170s and then 180. And then I got to let a little more ride 185 than 190. I'm not holding my full position as I was mentioning there. BM&R down another 20% today. Insane. Tom V says, so I pay TradeFunder $900 and they immediately allow me to trade to the $25,000 account. If I lose $3,700, they shut it down. Is that what you're saying? And can I trade immediately? Yes and yes. 100101110 also said so. Again, I'm going to bring it back over here. I think we're basically done trading this morning. I'm playing with a one and done GNS. That's going to be my only trade of the day. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about TradeFunder for the rest of you guys here. I'm going to keep going over these rules for you, though, because it's important. I want you guys to know. Make sure you're ready to go. Okay, so to this question here. And then if I lose $3,700, they shut it down. Is that what you're saying? Can I trade immediately? Yes, you will be signed up. It takes about 90 seconds to get started. So go ahead and click that button on that link that I've dropped in the chat. And by the way, I'll even drop it again for you guys here. So I just dropped that link in the chat. That's going to be this TradeFunder, and it's a whole long thing, but you can just click that link. So as soon as you're ready to go, click get your funded stock account now. Get started in less than 90 seconds. Again, it's going to be that $8.99 one-time payment. Now, back to the question at hand. Yes, if you lose $3,700 from the $25,000 account. So I'm not good at math. Where's my phone? Nice in my pocket. What's 25,000 minus? Okay, my phone's broken. Let's try the calculator. 25,000 minus 3,750. So if you draw down under $21,250, they're going to just shut down your account. All right. And you can re-sign up for another $8.99 payment, but they are just going to shut down that account. However, also very clear, to make this clear, you have a $1,000 max loss daily limit. So they'll shut you down for the day if you lose more than $1,000 in a day. Right? So like, let's say you start today, you got 25 grand, and then you draw down to $24,000 by the end of the day today. Actually, yeah, by the end of the day, they're going to shut your account off for today, but then you'll have $24,000 to trade with tomorrow, and you'll be $2,750 away from that max drawdown where they shut down your account. Nope, there's not a trial period. You can just get started right now with it. Again, this is real money you're trading with. So they can't really give you, would you give someone a trial period, right? If someone said, can I borrow $1,000? You say, yeah, but you know, they only want a trial period. So maybe they'll take your $1,000. Maybe they'll give it back to you. Maybe they won't. No, you wouldn't do that, right? Like, it's the same thing here. This is real money that you're trading with. It comes from their account. So once you make that payment, again, that payment is a deposit. That payment is a deposit into your trading account, meaning you're getting a $25,000 account. You're putting up $899 of it. They're putting up the other $24,101. I think I did that math right. 24K isn't under the PDT. It is, but you're trading from a larger account. That's your buying power. That is your buying power. Yeah, equity prop firms don't. I've never seen one that does. So, at least on the equity side. As a new trader only taking small positions, am I forced to make a certain amount of trades? No. No, listen, you can go trade one share if you want to. Really, what this allows you to do, if you're a smaller trader, if you're a newer trader that doesn't have a lot of money, and generally speaking, you would only get 3-day trades a week. If you want to take one share at a time with TradeFunder, you could take 1,000 trades in a day if you really wanted to. It's going to allow you to get over the PDT. The only rules are that you cannot lose more than $1,000 per day. They'll just shut you off for the day if you go over $1,000, or more than $3,750 drawdown from where you start. Basically, they're giving you an extra like $2,900 worth of drawdown as you try to prove. But again, the split side of that is that for traders who make money, they're going to take a split of your commission. They're going to take a commission from your trading, 20%, which I think is more than fair. It's pretty standard that a prop firm is going to take parts of your profits because they're putting up the risk. Can you short sell on the account? Yes. So TradeFunder is taking all the risk, and we're only risking $800. Well, you risk, yes, you're not, yes, you're risking your $899 deposit. So if you lose $3,000, they just charge you credit card $3,000 more. No. Nope. They charge you the $899 that you put in the one time. Your risk into this is $899. I want to make sure this is really clear because I'm seeing a lot of questions here. Debbie said, signed up with TradeFunder yesterday. Super easy. Ice said, so they take the full loss. They take the full loss. Yes. Right. Now, again, not the full loss. They're giving you a $25,000 account and they're only letting you lose $3,750. So they're not going to allow you to lose $25,000 of their money. They'll allow you to lose $3,750. Right. So I guess of their money, that's like $2,900. Can you short? Yes. No, the monthly subscription there is $99, right? The monthly subscription is the platform fee. For me, my brokers outside of TradeFunder charge like $150 a month for platform fee. So this is still a great discount. Oh, Debbie, that's fair enough. Pleasure. Appreciate it. Is it only for U.S. citizens? Yes, I believe so. I believe so. Jara said, can you make $100,000 and then withdraw? Yes. Yep. So in that case, you'd be able to withdraw $80,000. They take commissions when you withdraw money. What's the most amount of money you can make with TradeFunder? An unlimited amount of money. There is no upside to how much money you can make. If you make $1 million, then you get to keep 800,000 of it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, looks like we're starting to kind of repeat the same questions here, which I think I've gone over it quite well. Let's do one last thing before I get hopping off here, and then I'm going to give you your homework, walk you through it step by step one more time. Yes, Patrick, it is a one-time payment. Yes, ICE, they give you margin to trade with. You'll get a $25,000 account, but you can trade with up to $100,000. TradeFunder sounds very simple. It is very simple. Are you live every morning? I am live every morning. So you're saying that we can open the account with no deposit other than the $899, not $89.99. Now, let me go through here. We're going to review GNS one last time because I also want to make sure that you guys are understanding. The reason that I'm here with you guys today is number one, because I'm trading with TradeFunder and they partnered with Stocks to Trade. And so they wanted us doing these live webinars every day to get traders on one of the best deals that I've ever seen. Again, I really wish that once upon a time I had access to something like TradeFunder when I first got started trading, but it just didn't exist, right? I wish it did. But alas, now these days, Shig P dropped. Alas, I also want to make sure that for those of you guys that do start using TradeFunder, that you're getting in front of the right trades. You're understanding the types of trades that we're trading, so that you have a better chance for success. I want you to win. TradeFunder wants you to win. And if I had to guess, you probably want yourself to win too, right? So GNS is a stock that ran up from about 35 cents a share up to a high of $1.55 a share over the last couple of weeks. We dipped down from there, but yesterday we had a massive recovery day. I call these days short traps. They trapped short sellers who thought the run was over. This thing is going back down to 25 cents. Instead, it makes this massive squeeze from $1 to $1.50. And then this morning, it actually gapped up over that breakout level. Remember, the breakout level was $1.55. So this morning during pre-market, it broke out over that $1.55 level. Then this morning, we had a really nice trend starting to form. This is a trend that I was looking at right here. And so once we kind of broke and held that trend, right? We broke and held that trend. I looked for the entry here. Again, I saw a question earlier saying, why are you risking $1.57 instead of low a day? Largely because that would have mean breaking down under that trend line, right? But again, once we saw that high a day break come right here, it had held the trend break. Now I just took that high a day break buy with a really tight risk on $1.57, was able to start scaling out into that big push. We're getting increasing volume, which we would expect to see. Again, short sellers being trapped. Truth be told, it looks like it could be setting up for another squeeze here, but personally, I'm going to avoid it. I've locked in my money on this one, and I'm good to go. So this is kind of that review on GNS. We call this daily chart setup a multi-day breakout. The intraday setup where we're buying is an intraday or a high of day breakout. Just buying that previous high a day, and then I've got my risk right down there. Very simple trade. I love simple trades like this. On GNS, I made $570 on that trade. Unfortunately, I only got half the size. I was looking for 10,000 shares, and I only got filled 5,000. So not going to complain that much. Jimmy. Oh, yeah, Jimmy, of course, of course. Listen, Blessed Out West, I'm not going to pin your message, but I will repeat it. Blessed Out West says, if you can't understand how this works, you should not try trading. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. If you can't understand how simple it is to sign up with TradeFunder here, again, I literally dropped that link in the chat. All you have to do is click the button, and there's a form. I just dropped that button in the chat right there. I'll even try this banner here as well. Made it even bigger for you there, right? Literally, all you do is you click that button, you click get your funded stock account now, and you'll be good to go within like a minute and a half. It's a one-time payment of $8.99 and then $9.99 a month for the platform. But again, it's pretty dirt simple. We've gone over a lot of this already. Guys, that's your homework. For those of you guys that are trading with a small account now, that need larger capital, that just don't currently have access to it. Again, this is essentially your down payment into this trading account. This is one of the best deals I've ever seen before for traders. Like a lot of you, not all of you. I know some of you are trading there with like $200,000-$300,000 accounts, right? If that's the case, great. Or you can still de-risk if you want to. But like I have, I think it's really nice. Helps you trade a lot more level-headedly. But yeah, this is a great way to learn while you go. So if you got a smaller account, you can take as many trades as you want since you're over the PDT level. and taking as many trades as you want, I think is one of the best ways to learn. Now, what we're going to do from here is after I take each and every one of my trades for the day, which today was just one on GNS, I'll go through and I'll review that trade. What did I do well? What could I have done better? And then tomorrow, I'll keep doing the same thing. If you're only able to take 3 trades every 5 days, you don't have that much data to review from. However, right, if you're out there trading 5, 6, 10, 15 times a week on good setups, not over trading, you'll get a lot of data. Alex, that's funny. Alex says, and when you make millions using TradeFunder, you can buy that beachfront home in Wyoming. Well, you know what? I've got a desert front box truck trading station that I'm sitting in right now. You don't even need to make millions of dollars for this one. Although I did, it wasn't necessarily cheap. But anyways, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you know your homework. Click that button right now for those of you guys who are looking to get your trading account funded. This is a phenomenal deal, and you can get started trading as soon as either today or tomorrow, depending on how you get set up. So, everybody, I will not see you back here tomorrow. My friend Matt Monaco will be live with you guys tomorrow. But me and Matt Monaco will be back with you guys together as a group, as a duo on Monday. Matt will be with you tomorrow. I'll be with you Monday. Daryl, you're funny. All right, everybody, take it easy. I hope you guys all crushed it today. Great win on GNS. I think that was honestly the easiest trade of the market today because now everything else is kind of falling apart. So keep it simple. Keep it easy. Let's do it. See you guys Monday. Bye, everyone.